Hey everybody, Like Blades here, and in today's video I have two packages, but I'm going to be opening one in this video, one in another. I'm wanting to space out my content to one video per day or one short per day, if not one of each a day, but these two packages decided to show up on the same day, and then I still have to finish making up my feelings and deciding how I want to talk about the tsunami. Keep in mind, I don't do reviews. The review I'm going to be doing for this is going to be my thoughts on it, how I feel about it, how it's going to work. Anyway, this specific package is a very expensive knife, so I'm going to be opening it with an expensive knife. I lent this out to Brandon Baker at Blade Show almost immediately after purchasing it. So at the max, I have about 3 minutes of flipping time on this knife, and it got back to me today, which is perfectly fine. I told him, hold on to it as long as you want, do what you want with it. I really don't mind, and I don't mind. So I am super excited to get this back. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and cut into this box, shall we? Very sharp knife, and its job is done. Make sure there's nothing else in here. Nothing else in there. Okay. Now, for some people who are newer to the community, they may not know what this logo is, but those of us who have been here for, at least for a little while, should know who this is. This is Hanson Metals. He also works with JK Designs, or he did, while making the JK Design Hanson Metal Monarch V1 and V2. Those were great knives, but they were known for their handle gap issues. This, however, is Hanson Metal's personal design. He doesn't make them. Well, he makes them. He doesn't machine them himself. JK machines them, and Joe does the rest of everything else. Hanson Metals does the anodizing, the finishing, the tuning, the sharpening, all of that. JK does all the machining. I believe Hanson Metals does the spacers himself, but I don't know for sure, especially after what he has kind of caught fire, which really sucks. And I need to get new spacers for this. So, let's go ahead and open up this case. I'll set this to the side. That's not important right now. What is important is, I don't remember that being my certificate of authenticity. Huh. I remember these being a lot more fancy for my last one, but you got your certificate of authenticity with the model, solo, number, date it was made, and Hanson Metal signature. You get 2 stickers, which I'm surprised I have. Brandon, you could have kept these if you wanted them. Truly, you could have kept these. I don't need them, but I guess they can go on my shelf. And a business card. Now, for those of you who may have paid attention to the background, I had this card leaned up against the wall over here under my lights as a little bit of me telling you, hey guys, take a look at this. This is coming in, or I have something from this maker coming my way. So, if you noticed that, congratulations. If you didn't, that's too bad. You can try next time. But I don't have anything in this video to hint towards this second box, but this second box, oh boy, it comes with a fucking story, and I've had this knife for over a year. So stay tuned for that for the next video. Anyway, this is the Hanson Metal Solo V2. I originally sold my first Solo to K-Sauce on Instagram. I didn't sell it. I traded it to him for a Hyvel Knives Custom. I believe it was number 5, maybe number 10. I don't remember, but it was an awesome knife. It just wasn't for me at the end of the day, and I regretted that decision ever since. So I decided almost immediately after I was going to buy another solo. And as soon as I got to Blade Show, I saw this Anno and immediately bought it. This is $1,000, brand new, $1,000. I bought it immediately. But it has Ultim spacers, which makes it very light in the handles compared to the titanium spacers. But I don't care. I'll get the tie spacers to match this Anno eventually. Oh no, there's a tiny scuff on the handles. Oh well. I'm gonna be hitting this in the concrete here pretty soon anyway. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. I bought this immediately. But little funny thing, this is not the blade that was originally on these handles when I bought it. Hi? Sorry about that. I guess my dog learned how to open my door. Whatever. Anyway, this had a different blade on it at the time, which gave it a handle gap about like that. That's a big handle gap compared to that, which is what it's supposed to have. And randomly it started to bind out of nowhere. No movement in the handles whatsoever. So as soon as I noticed that it was binding like that, I brought it to Joe at his booth. He took a look at it, started messing around, and then traded a blade. He gave me blade number 254, and then put the other blade on a different set of handles that this blade came off of. And somehow that fixed the issues entirely on both knives. So this one doesn't have that insane handle gap, the other one doesn't have the insane handle gap. This one doesn't have the insane handle gap, the other one doesn't have the insane handle gap, and honestly, I don't know how the hell that works. It's the same stuff, but does different things? I don't know. But that's just a little funny story about this knife. Now, it is $1,000, so it's a very expensive knife. And as much as I recommend people buy it, I only say buy it if you can afford it. But that's $1,000 new. I think secondhand they go like $600, $700. They don't retain their value as much as they should. Holy hell. Yeah, that's a lot more blade bias than I remember it being. I need tie spacers like now, son of a bitch. It's still a really good flipper. It's not as good as my other one was because of the spacers. It does roll over as well, it fans well. But Brandon Baker said he had issues with one specific trick. That being the Chaplin. Now this thing is completely dry. I'm gonna go ahead and put some Carbon Honey Thick on here. See if that fixes anything, which I hope it does, but it also could use a Titan, but we'll see what happens. That fixed up the tolerances quite a bit. Anyway, it still flips really well. And for the price it is, it better flip well. It does all of my tricks perfectly. The Solo is honestly one of my favorite flippers. Before I flipped an Alien, this was my favorite flipper. In advance, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for all the cuts in this video because there is so much going on around me, it is insane. I'm being interrupted left and right. I have a loud dog who won't stop howling. I've got my dad that I live with currently barging in out of fucking nowhere, and it's really getting on my nerves. But it's whatever. I'm going to go ahead and get back into this. God damn it. I don't want to sneeze. Don't sneeze. Watermelon. Okay, thank you. Anyway. Now, as I said before, Brandon Baker only had one issue with this knife, and that would be not the balance, but the way it chaplains. He didn't particularly like the Ultem spacers because it gives way more weight in the blade, but his main issue was chaplains. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a shot and see what it is he's talking about, because I don't remember ever trying to chaplain this knife. I remember giving it the basic stuff, basically just doing all this, bing bada boom, just giving shit a shot. The more I flip it, the more used to the balance I get, which is a good thing. I mean, I flip so many different knives that I should be getting used to it, but I'm going to go ahead and give it the chaplain a shot right now, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. I'm not having any issues with that at all. It must be the way he does his chaplains, because I'm not having... Ooh, wait. Yeah, no, I'm not having any issues with my chaplains at all. I guess it's because I've flipped so many different knives at different balances that I can just immediately get used to it. And I'm not saying that he doesn't get used to it either, or anything like that. I'm just saying that I flip not only as a hobby, but as a way to help me with my ADHD. So I'm constantly flipping 24 hours a day. Well, 12 hours a day until I go to sleep. I literally flip when I wake up until I go to sleep. I'll be sitting here watching something on my phone or on my TV, subconsciously flipping my knives. Just going at it, doing a little bit of everything. I go outside, I start flipping, I start pulling off my other tricks, like the Van Gogh, the scissor, I attempt the double scissor, and a bunch of that other stuff. But I'm flipping more often than most other people are, which isn't really a good thing for my fingers, but I don't really give a shit. I enjoy flipping, it's what I do. Now, I'm gonna make a separate video for this, 2 separate videos for that, just because I need the extra content so I don't run out too fast and leave y'all dry and without stuff. So I'm not gonna go too far into this knife, because I've had a lot of experience with the Solo before, just not this specific one and this weight configuration. But right now, I will tell you, from favorite to least favorite, or from least favorite to favorite, least favorite being over here. Let's see. I'll go ahead and put this here, this here, this here, this here. Now, the Talisong is my favorite over all of these. Not as a flipper, but as a knife, as a design, and just because it's all the way completely more rare than everything else. Now, the Tsunami, I love the Tsunami, but I prefer it with the neutral balance than the slight handle bias that it has, which, video coming soon, I have a list of pros and cons for this knife for my personal preference. Again, I don't do reviews. Everything I do is my personal preference, not you. You might see this as a different rating, but my preference. So, Is the Tsunami shit? Is it good? I'm not going to answer that question yet. You'll have to wait until the video comes out. Volt Pro, all around, I enjoy it. More than the Tsunami, yes. Talisong Original is a very good knife. It's a very good flipper. It's just very old school, and it's something you really, really have to get used to. The Solo, it's square. It's kind of short, but not short. It's a good weight for me. Honestly, the Solo is probably my perfect knife with the titanium spacers for flipping. All around the other way, it's a perfect knife. 100% perfect knife. For me. It performs all of its tricks fucking perfect for me, so I'm very happy about that. And it's very quiet, while still having a unique sound at the same time. Yeah, get off me. Sorry, flipping in these close quarters is not something I'm used to, so I'm getting better at it. But this knife, not only is it good for me because I enjoy it, but it's good for me because I don't live alone. And my father, who I live with currently, gets very annoyed with the sound of flipping. So, ooh, there's a chip in the blade. Oh well. Okay. So having a silent knife like this, or a near silent knife like this, helps me out a ton, because then I can go out to the kitchen, flip while I'm making food and whatnot, and he won't get too annoyed by it. But this, or even this, hearing that all the time really annoys the crap out of him, so it is what it is. Having this helps me out a ton, and it will be in my pocket every Sunday. Now, I'm still flipping this every day, getting all of my thoughts in on it. It's a good knife, but story is, actually, the Tsunami and the Solo for me actually do have a story together. They are literally the exact same size, same blade shape, or blade style, Japanese Tanto. They're both basically sandwich. This is Chanwich, while this is sandwich. But both take 4 slabs, put it together, and both S35VN steel, both 6AL 4V titanium, also known as grade 5 titanium. But this will take a beating a lot better than this will. This just costs a lot more. These are $750 brand new, this is $1,000 brand new. But this is being discontinued soon. So, yeah, that's a thing. It's upsetting. But when you're getting a knife made by a custom maker, it's kind of to be expected that eventually the knife is going to be discontinued. Eldon, your Talisong, you know what I'm talking about. But it's going to be a very sad day for me to see this go. But I hope that I might have some good luck and win the giveaway. Joe, ooh, that was expensive. That sounded expensive. Anyway, Joe is doing a giveaway for a full-dressed Solo. But there's a catch. You must currently own a Solo at the point he does the drawing. So, if you sold your Solo, you're out of the game. You traded your Solo, you're out of the game. If you bought a Solo secondhand, you're in. You just have to hold on to it until he does the drawing. When the fuck did those become smaller screws? I thought those used to be T10. I don't know. But as long as you currently own a Solo, no matter how you got it, if you stole it, fuck you. But no matter how you got it, you're in the drawing. He's going to do a drawing at some point after they're discontinued. I think he said he's going to have somebody message him if they are the ones with the specific number he draws, and then like video call them to show proof that you have that specific number Solo or something like that, but I don't know for sure. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up this video a little bit. I hate that it feels rushed and that there's so many cuts. This video was not perfect, which I didn't expect it to be. I'll make the next one better, I promise. But, yeah. This is my all-time favorite flipper that I own. All-time favorite flipper that I own. Let's just get one more good look at that knife. Look at that pretty thing. I don't know. That might be my thumbnail. I don't know. I might have to go take a picture of it outside. But that's a fucking sexy-ass knife, if you ask me. Well, anyway, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. I love this knife. I love you guys. Anyway, see you next time. Fuck. This is all I have on me today, so don't really expect the pocket dump since I already did it. See ya.